For anyone worrying that right now we are experiencing the Iraq War remix with Iran, your fears are probably well founded. Donald Trump admitted in a post on Truth Social this week that he is actually open to the idea of regime change if, of course, the current leadership of Iran does not change their ways. Now, he was kind of mum on what exactly that means, but basically, if you do not make Iran great again, he might have to do some regime change. I will read you his exact post on Truth Social in just a moment, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. For weeks, the headlines have focused on how Trump's so-called beautiful bill would gut Medicaid. But almost no one's talking about MAGA loyalists slipping in the most dangerous legal loophole of all. Go to ground.news/ROF to see how they're trying to block federal judges from enforcing court orders against the executive branch unless you pay a bond first. Highly credible sources warn most Americans can't actually afford to do that, so if this bill passes and Trump violates the law, it wouldn't matter. This is the GOP's flood the zone playbook in action. Create chaos up top with Medicaid cuts and immigration panic so the real authoritarian moves fly under the radar. And it's exactly why I think Ground News is the best tool to expose these blind spots before it's too late. My partners have built the only app and website pulling in news from across the globe, then breaking down each source's bias, credibility, and the news the right tries to bury. And considering most people take the first headline they see as fact, if you're reading the news somewhere else, their browser extension will actually flag the source's bias and link other credible reports so you can verify the information. Ground News is a better version of how we're already staying informed. So I got my viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's only $5 per month when you go to ground.news/ROF or scan my QR code. With at least another 4 years of this, they're counting on you to be distracted. This app is how you stay focused. So here is just one of many posts that Donald Trump has frantically put on Truth Social over the last few days, but this one, of course, is the big one. Trump said, quote, "It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? MIGA, M-I-G-A, I'm hoping that's pronounced MIGA because I'm not going to pronounce it with a short I sound, that's for sure. But yeah, so he's now promoting MIGA instead of just MAGA because he wants to make Iran great again. And he doesn't even know what that means. But if they can't do it, if they can't achieve this goal that he has now laid out for them with no real objectives, then we're in regime change. Right back to where we were with the Bush administration. That is where Donald Trump has taken us. We are stuck in the worst time loop imaginable, folks, reliving the biggest mistakes of this millennium just 25 years after they happened. It's honest to God mind-blowing that we're even back at this point. What I do say kind of gives me a little bit of hope is that it does seem like a lot of the public, maybe most of them, but definitely more than when Bush lied us into Iraq, most of the public, or a lot of the public again, does seem to understand that Trump is acting unilaterally. The Trump administration is lying to us about their own intelligence, countering their own intelligence agencies like Trump did with Tulsi Gabbard over the weekend. So it seems like a lot of people understand there is no justification for what has happened here. And I think a lot of people also remember that the only reason we're even in this place to begin with is because during his first term, Donald Trump is the one who pulled us out of the Iran nuclear agreement, which basically said Iran cannot get close to making nuclear weapons. Trump pulled us out of that, basically killed the whole deal. So what happened then? Well, the answer is they did begin to enrich uranium. And according to Tulsi Gabbard from March, as I talked about yesterday, they were not building nuclear weapons. So there you go. And as I also pointed out yesterday, even if they were, we're not the police of the world. I know we like to think we are, we like to pretend we are, but we're not. If another country wants to do something, they actually can do that, okay? Just like we can, because we build nukes. We're still making them. Nobody else is, crying foul over that, even though we're the only country that's ever dropped them on a civilian population. But here we are. Regime change round 2, because the first one went so well in Iraq, right? I mean, everything went swimmingly. It wasn't referred to as a giant quagmire ever, was it? Except this time we're being led, contrary to what J.D. Vance said on Meet the Press this weekend, by people who are even dumber. There is not a single competent person in this administration. There is not anyone in Trump's ear telling him that this is a bad idea. This will be worse than Iraq if Donald Trump has his way. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.